Hey guys, welcome back to another review. Today I'm reviewing Ogre by Brian G. Berry. I just read this book, read it in under an hour, very short, 150, 160 pages to be exact. Figured I'd come on here, do a review. My reading's gotten out of track, but I'm doing a Brian Berry readathon. I posted to X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, and I was like doing a Berrython or a Bryathon. I'm dumb, can you tell? But yeah, firstly, let me just change the view setting and really focus on the detail of this gorgeous cover. I mean, the artist, he used to be on Fiverr, but now he's not. I believe it's due to him being so busy with others. But man, beautiful cover. Now here's the spine, very short book. I'll let you guys read the back because I can't read out loud. The L and the I, however, blend together, so that's pretty funny. So yeah, Ogre. I'll try to keep it spoiler free, but the first opening chapter is the opening chapter of each Brian Berry book I've read is some of the best opening chapters I've ever read from any author, any genre, any book. I mean, he knows how to hook his reader. He knows how to just start off a book with a bang and keep it going. And the other thing I like about this guy's work is his characters are real. They aren't just pieces of, well, paper thin cutout. You know what I mean? Like, they actually are people. They have personalities. They don't just exist to be butchered. But, I mean, Brian Berry is probably the best modern horror author. He definitely is extreme horror, but I don't think I've ever heard anyone call his books extreme horror. They're 80s inspired, and I love that. I mean, I'm a huge 80s horror buff. I believe there could be a list of his books. No, there's a list of his books in some of the others that I own of his. And yeah, I have about 8 more to go of his books. I mean, Brian Berry is one fantastic author. He writes some of the best fiction I've ever read. Easily one of my favourite authors, and tying with Richard Lehman. And every single book of his, it's just so good. I can't even contain my happiness because of how good Brian Berry is at writing. He can write some of the most fantastic descriptions and then immediately just plunge into a death or a sex scene like it's nothing, and it works. It for some reason works. The scenery descriptions in this really immersed you into the story. I felt like I was watching a film rather than reading a book, and that's a good thing. You could kind of hear the soundtrack, if that makes any sense. You could hear the crunch of bones, the screen. It was gorgeous, and there was a backstory scene near the end from the sheriff, and it had one of the most terrifying descriptions that I've ever read. Brian Berry is actually a good author at writing ludicrous tales, but actually making them, well, frightening, so to speak. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to reading more of his books. I have a fair few left. I have one novelization. Brian Berry's been going into novelizations. I believe he's still publishing his own work, but he might just be switching over to novelizations for a while. I hope he's still publishing his own work. Yeah, he's publishing a updated version of Brian's birthday. I can't remember the title. Like, I always Brian's Birthday Bloodbath, I think. Is that correct? Or maybe it's Brian's Bath? No, it's the first one, I think. Anyway, I'm babbling. But yeah, and I seriously can't get over the artwork. It's phenomenal. It kind of describes what the book is like. Yeah, this is just a fantastic novel. Well, novella, but it's so smooth. I mean, it's very smooth. It's not all that dense. There's a fair few pages of dialogue, which I enjoyed. There were a lot of characters, and I did lose track. But again, I am a fast reader, so half the time I actually did take in all of the information. But I started off fairly slow, and then I just gradually get quicker and quicker. And by the end, I was like turning the page like every 10 seconds, pretty much. I didn't realize there was afterwards, so I was kind of racing to finish within an hour because I had a timer. But I did inhale every word, so to speak. It was so well written. I mean, this guy can write. This guy has a true knack for it. Again, apologies, but I really just have to show off this artwork. I mean, the artwork alone is so beautiful. And yeah, another thing, this isn't necessarily a spoiler, but it wasn't until like the last, like, it was like around page 120 they actually finally called the beast an ogre. I hadn't seen the word ogre appear until like the 120 mark. So I mean, the title was even slightly a spoiler. I would have called it something like creature. Anyway, not trying to ridicule the book at all. Ridicule, I don't know if that's the right word. Not trying to insult the book whatsoever. I mean, it was fantastic. I usually do on a scale of 1 to 10 because that's easier for me. 5 is a bit too niche, in my opinion, if that makes any sense. But I'd have to say this is a 9 out of 10. There were no faults. Usually I'm not a fan of the detective slashes, but it was well done. It reminded me a hell of a lot of Friday the 13th, just with a creature for the killer, not a masked maniac. But it was fantastic. It was gory. It was brutal. I just realized if you put the G in the O spot and the O in the G spot, it'd spell gore. So maybe that could have been a hidden message. Brian Berry is trying to subliminally hypnotize us. Yes, that's yeah. Apologies. I again, yes, I am dumb. I love this book. I'm gonna try not to get started on either the Night Mutilator or the Sleepover Massacre. They're both roughly around the same page length, so I'll try to see which one's smaller, and then I'll probably start that tomorrow or maybe later on tonight. But again, loved this book. It was fantastic, really entertaining, and yeah, I'm reading all 9 of the Brian Berry books I have left. I have Raptornator, but for some reason I'm not counting that. I don't know why. I think it's because it's a double feature. I want to get the individual copy just because the cover's so beautiful. But anyway, babbling again. Thank you guys for watching. I should be back tomorrow with a review of either the Night Mutilator or the Sleepover Massacre. Yeah, I have a busy week. Well, Thursday, which is Wednesday in America time. Anyway, chances are you'll be seeing this long after, but yeah, I got a concert to go to, so there won't be any reading done that day. It's a festival. Anyway, babbling again. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys very, very soon for another video. Take care, and, well, goodbye.